Welcome back. So here we are again in the caravan, back on the drive after our trip to Wales. And it's time to empty the caravan again. Got the crates out. It's never fun, but it does make you think, why did I put all this stuff in here? So let's tidy up, and then I'm going to tell you why we're emptying the caravan. Wow, that took a bit of doing. So why are we clearing out? Why are we emptying our 304? There's a few reasons, and I'm going to go into those. I'm also going to tell you some stuff that we bought at the NEC. So, the first reason is that we are going to get those few little niggles that we've had for a while sorted at our local dealer. You would have seen we still got some areas that may or may not be damp. I don't think it is. But they've agreed under warranty to take a proper look. So let's do it. So it's going in the next week or so for that to be done. A couple of other bits to be looked at. It's been booked for a while, but it's the soonest that it can be done. We've also been looking for quite some time at some other bits and pieces for the caravan. So we went to the NEC. What did we get? Well, obviously, as you have to do, we went to Mighty Spice and got the spice packs. Everybody has to do that. They are amazing. If you haven't had one before, go and find the stand. You can get them on their website as well. Mighty Spice, absolutely amazing. Really easy as well. Literally, whatever meat, veg, etc. you want, fry it up, put the spice in, bit of water, done. It says you can put butter and cream and things, but we don't bother. It's really nice. So we spent way more money at the NEC than we intended to. We got ourselves on the Falcon stand wireless reversing camera. Now you may have seen a few other people have had these. I really do get the impression that they are made up of cheaper Chinese parts, but they're put together as a pack by Falcon. I think a lot of the stuff is. You may have seen our wireless that we started off with first time. We got a cheap version of that. Falcon do one that's very similar. And again, I think this is too. And a real giveaway is the USB charger, the indoor USB charger that came with this. It's actually Amazon branded. So, I think it shows that they do pair things together. But you know what? They've paired this together in such a way that you've got the support of a UK-based company. It works. So, that gives a lot of reassurance. Sometimes you get things and they're not that great, and trying to send it back, trying to get support's no good. So this has got the backing of a UK based company, people you can actually go and talk to. Let me sort of show you what you've got. And you've seen a few others. I've been looking for, you know, whether it's a reversing or a rear view camera for the caravan for a long time. I don't like wiring things in permanently, changing things permanently. I don't like drilling holes. So I wanted wireless, but they all had a big ugly screen that sit on the dash. I even a year plus ago spoke to Falcon and said, look, do you do one that doesn't have the screen that sits on the dash? And they didn't. But this time they've brought it out. So you've got the camera, and this is solar powered. It's wireless. You've got a little aerial. So this is magnetic, and this fixes on to the back of the caravan, to your van, to your motorhome. If you've already got metal, great. Otherwise, you Sikaflex on a little metal plate, and that comes with it. The Sikaflex, the glue comes with it as well. And if you need to, you can take that off. Bit of wire underneath. Yes, it's a little bit pain, but it does come off. So you know, you got the camera. We used it on our trip to Wales. You charge it up first time with USB. If you need to top it up, you can. But I've used this on the way to Wales, so that's what, 2.5 hour drive. I left it on the caravan, turned on, didn't turn it off. We were there for a week. 2.5 hour drive back. It's still showing full battery. So that solar panel is obviously doing its job. So that's really good. Now, the bit that was the game changer for me was the screen. This is a mirror. You can see yourselves there. In the back of the caravan, my cushions are stood up because it's getting cold. Tip, stand your cushions up, don't leave them against the wall if it's cold in your caravan. Stops you getting mouldy walls. So this literally, it's got spring-loaded clips on the rear view mirror in your car, and I'll put a picture up of it attached to mine. I used to have a dash cam on an old car that had little suckers stuck on the mirror, and it had little elastic bands that went around the side, and the thing shook like mad. You couldn't see anything behind you. This is rock solid. This is amazing. Yes, you have to power it, so it's got USB, but you can very neatly run that round the window, get an adapter to plug it in your diagnostic port. Normally they're under the driver's or passenger side, and you can neatly tuck a really thin wire down the pillar. You barely see it. So again, no ugly wire from your dash going down into your cigarette lighter. This is amazing. I'll do a separate video, full review, show you exactly what that is. Definitely that. What else did we get? So obviously loads of nibbles and various little treats and things. But there's one big purchase. And we broke all our rules. Every single one of them. So we've been going to the last couple of shows, I'd say, thinking about, do we get a new caravan? Don't we get a new caravan? We've loved the 304. We still do love the 304. There are a few things though that really would make the big difference for us and be the reason for upgrading. So one is making the bed. So both for Sam and for us, we have to make the beds each night. And if one of us needs to get up, then pretty much both of us have to get up. You're climbing over each other, etc. If someone wants to get up earlier or go to bed earlier, you can't. So you have to do everything all at exactly the same time. There's nowhere to sit if you've made the beds up. The bathroom is really small. Now it's great if you've got an on-site block. It's great at a push. It's functional. But definitely from the larger side, trying to shower in that all-in-one bathroom, you have to be quite dedicated. I've done it several times, but Emma isn't able to. So we've kind of half looked each time we've been, and we've never found anything that we could tow or that we could live with. We do like our TV, and we wanted to make sure that the TV doesn't have to go on a set of drawers in the front, in the middle there. We have a weight limit. We can tow 1,600 kilograms with our cars. We wanted somewhere that Sam would have somewhere to sleep. We might have to make his bed up, as in put sheets and duvet out. But we wanted somewhere that Sam could sleep really easily, but we'd still have somewhere to sit. That we had a bed that was a fixed bed, that we didn't have to climb over each other. We wanted a shower we can use. We go off grid. By off grid, we go to CL sites. So, actually having our own shower would be really good. And we've looked for ages, and we're really fussy. We originally looked at 6 berths. So, show last time round, I think, was it the February show? We were looking at 6 berths, thinking, if we get one with a side dinette or bunks, then that would give us a bed, it would give Sam a separate bed and a seating area. But nothing hit what we wanted. At this show, we thought, okay, let's look at some of the 4s. It had to be right. One of the things we're going to give up if we get a new van is one of the things I love about this one. It's small enough to fit on our drive. We've only got a really small, short drive, terraced house. So I can come out here and do videos like this. I can tinker, I can do my mods. And whenever I like, no planning. So, we've got a lot of requirements, but looking at the 4s, we looked at some of the Bailey, some of the black editions, and started really liking it. Some of those with the L-shaped lounges, and I love the idea of a mid-bathroom. And even the L-shaped kitchens in some of them. But when you look at them, we couldn't get in the shower, or the doors to the bathroom on these weird rail systems, and that didn't work. They just felt like they fall apart. And you could even see above the cupboards in the front that the materials and the fixings there to make it light and cheap, it was not good. So we looked at the Baileys, we looked at the Swifts. Adria was out of our weight limit. Swifts, the Sprites were just too cheap. The others, nothing fitted what we wanted. Then we were looking at Eldis again. Obviously our Xplore, it's Eldis really, isn't it? And we're sort of looking through some of those. And we found a few layouts that we liked. And it wasn't what we thought originally. So we saw some of and there's various different ranges, some of the 554s. It had an end bathroom. I didn't really want an end bathroom. It had the island bed on the side, and it had the front bench seats that were long enough for Sam to lie on and use as a bed without actually having to make anything up. It had somewhere for the TV and quite a lot of room in the kitchen. So we kind of narrowed it down to that layout, that end bathroom, bed on the side. So when you know that sort of layout, and you know that end bathroom that's big enough, and it doesn't have an artificially narrow entrance into the shower, it's really wide. We thought that would really work for us. Now we were there for 2 days, so we kind of came away on the first day. We'd looked at several of the Eldis 554s, and we looked at the Xplore Quad, because actually that was the Xplore 554, so the layout's exactly the same. So coming back on the Sunday, our mission really was to go through, have a proper look, and have a chat to some dealers. So we went and looked at the Eldises first, and then we went to look at the Xplore. Now we really like the Xplore. It's obviously got that familiarity, and it's got sort of updated colours. But there's no, I don't know what the word is. There's no feeling to it. It's kind of really clinical. The floor, the furniture, it's all kind of a dark colour. There's no soft furnishings. It's all very echoey. It really does feel clinical now. Which was a shame because it really fitted what we were looking for. Otherwise, it had most of the modifications that we've made to our 304 already fitted. Solar and alarms, roof fan, so on and so forth. And then we went back and looked at the Eldises. And this is where we actually had a real kind of disappointment, I guess. So we ended up speaking with 3 or 4 different dealers. One of the rules I had next time we buy a caravan, if we buy a caravan, and I was seriously ready to buy. We'd made our mind up which one we wanted. And we spoke to sort of these 3 or 4 dealers, looking for one that was closer to us. And I have to say, we were really surprised. And not in a good way. So we started asking about the Eldis Whirlwind 554 with the extra pack on that gives you solar, barbecue point, etc. And you know, I'm not going to name them all because I think it would be unfair. But we had dealers tell us that they were our closest dealer when they weren't. Quite blatantly weren't. You know, the closest dealer was on the stand. We'd spoken to them. We'd done our research. We had people giving us incorrect information about the spec of the caravan. So I do think it was a little bit naughty of Eldis. The van they took to the show is not a model you can actually purchase. What was shown had parts fitted to it that are not what you get, and you can't even request them as optional upgrades. The biggest thing being the roof lights. So the 554 Whirlwind at the NEC show in October had what I believe is called a Stargazer roof light window in it. That is not available on the Whirlwind on any option. But we were told that going for that enhanced pack, the one that we were going for, that it was. We were also told by a dealer that the Eldis Whirlwind 554 is lithium battery ready. The charger, etc., is ready for lithium. It is not. So, you know, at this point, I was really downhearted. I was ready to walk away. You've got dealers telling you stuff that isn't true. You've got the manufacturer putting things out to show you what it's like that you can't buy. How many people are going to go home having put a deposit down on an Eldis Whirlwind 554 and they get to their dealers in March, April time, and it's not what they thought they were buying? That's really naughty. Really naughty. So yeah, I was walking out the door. I really was. Another show leaving when we were thinking we were going to get a new caravan, and Sam being disappointed that actually we're not. But on the way past, on the way out of the Eldis stand, you know, we actually saw the guys from Active Leisure. We bought this 304 from Active Leisure. Yes, it's way further away than we wanted to go. And if there are problems, you know, they're fantastic, but it's a long way. But I thought, you know what? Let's talk to these guys. And straight away, they got us. They understood us. We'd already bumped into Ben and to Paula on the Xplore stand, on the Adria stand. You know, it was Mark on the Eldis stand that we spoke to. But straight away, really open and honest with us. We sat down, went through it all, and we did a deal. So they showed us exactly what you get with the Eldis Whirlwind 554 with that upgraded package. You know, it's the same windows that are on other ones. It's the same roofs that are on other ones. It's the same spec. So they showed us. The others didn't. And, you know, it really goes to say, you know, it's so important. Pick a dealer that you trust. You know, it's a hard thing to know, and you have to learn the hard way sometimes. You know, we did with Freedom. You know, we never got our first caravan. The first one ended up being this Xplore 304. But you know, it has to feel right. You have to have that trust. So yes, we have ordered the Eldest Whirlwind 554. Went away really happy, expecting delivery sort of March, April time. We've already had a phone call literally week after, and we're hopeful now that actually we might be getting it late January. So really exciting times for us. I'm acting like a child at Christmas already. I've already purchased so much stuff to remod the new caravan. You know, we are going to be fitting lithium to it. We are going to be uprating the solar. I'm going to be fitting my Renogy system. We have spec'd an underbed aircon unit from Truma. We will be fitting our new reversing camera, our rear view camera to it. But it's given us a few dilemmas as well. So it won't fit on the drive. So we are looking for storage in the Reading area. We are going through a few different things. So look out for lots of videos on some of that stuff coming up. And hopefully, fingers crossed, January time, you'll be seeing us with our new caravan. So if you do want to see our prep for getting our Eldest Whirlwind 554 Evolution, take a look down below, hit that subscribe button. Maybe ask any questions in comments, and you'll see in the next few videos, how do you find storage? What about insurance? Is there a difference with insurance versus drive versus storage? What am I buying for those upgrades? How am I going to do it? You know, do subscribe, and you'll see all those videos coming up soon. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.